So, as we like to start right off the bat with our favorite, Agatha All Along.
Hell yeah. Repping the
The
shirt today,
queen.
boys.
Hey, I ain't repping it, but I'm wearing purple. So
Man, I'm just living
I
Living your best life.
living my best life.
I got to get me one of those shirts. So,
Hmm.
Dude, it's so comfy. I love Hot Topic because, like,
mm,
you can always find, like, because they always have that wall of graphic tees, but then underneath, like, they have, like, their little hidden gems in there. This was one of the shirts that was a hidden gem inside.
oh,
So I was
nice.
like, oh, yeah, I'm
That's
getting
what I'm
this.
talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have a hot topic here, so I've got to check that out here soon. See if they have the same selection that you got yours from.
I'm definitely
Hell
taking a
yeah.
trip this week.
So yeah, so this as we all know from the last week that where we missed, it ends with us getting Wiccan, and he's confirmed as Billy Maximoff,
Hmm.
and we pretty much jump straight into this last episode as a pretty much a backstory of how he became Wiccan, which I feel like was pretty good. It's
And how
pretty
we got
slick.
the sigil and everything, too.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, just a good little Jewish boy becoming a man, I guess, in his bar mitzvah, and boy,
Mhm.
did he not realize how life changing that day was going to be.
Man.
Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, so pretty much at bar mitzvah, and let's be honest, like that, like they did not spare and hold nothing back for his bar mitzvah. I mean, this dude had a light up dance floor, uh, had a palm reader, which is was crazy, and I did not expect us to get to see all the different witches that was
Yeah.
involved with him on that day.
Mhm.
So Lilia was there, reading palms. We find out she's the one that put the sigil on him because she's seen something from the future. I guess maybe to protect him or
Yeah.
prevent. I'm assuming something like that. Um,
Maybe.
maybe I'm sure we're gonna find out probably this next episode all the story behind it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. We'll see. Then as they leave the bar mitzvah, everybody's leaving the bar mitzvah actually because of the hex, and the reports of the hex. And as they see the hex shrinking or whatever,
Mhm.
they actually get ran off the road, hit a tree. Billy dies. I love how they do the slow of the heartbeat, and
Mhm.
then and then all of a sudden, boom, 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 the heartbeat picks back up, and then he awakens, and yeah, we have Billy inside William, and he
Yeah.
yells out for Tommy, and he's got no memory prior to the wreck
Right.
of William at all, but Billy as well don't have any memory, and all he remembers is yelling out the name Tommy.
Right.
So then he's pretty much it skips 3 years after that, uh, and I guess he's like adapting and trying to fake that he's William.
Mhm.
And he's sitting there going through, and he's been doing research of the hex, and I guess trying to figure out who he is and where he came from and everything. We get his boyfriend in there, Eddie, which a lot of people are wondering if it's going to be Teddy, Hulkling, because that's who he was with in the comics.
Right.
There's a lot of back and forth if they're going to do that or not with this boyfriend, and yeah, so let's see. He meets Bonerific 69, which we
Oh
get
man.
Evan Peters, Ralph Boner, and
I
that's
want one
how
of those boner pitch a tent kind
yes,
of family reunion shirts that New Rockstars has. I saw that
yes.
today because I was watching their video of the recap and I was like, "Oh
Mm,
my god, I
I
really do
I
need one of those shirts."
I'm definitely going to
Yeah.
order one. Yeah, it's too hilarious not to.
What the hell
Uh,
gave them the reason to name him Ralph Boner? It's like all the names you could have
I
gave
don't
him
know,
is
man. I don't
Do you
Boner.
know.
not think that that was the actor himself like was like, "Yeah, this is the name I'm going to choose."
Right?
It's like, come on, man. Like, I mean, I guess it's opportunity to get some comedy in, but Boner,
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know why they went that route, but I don't know.
God.
Dude, my brain just totally made a dad joke. You said boner. I was like, I hardly know her.
Uh,
Anyway.
yeah. So that's how we find out that how Billy actually hears of Agatha's name and who Agatha even is. So after
Mhm.
that, then he does even more research with Agatha and dives into go and find her in Westview. And then
Right.
we kind of see where Agatha's scenes were with the crime world, how they actually looked inside her house, and yeah, and that's pretty much how Wiccan becomes there. And at the end, they pretty
He
much
gets
agree
back
to
on the road. Yeah.
yeah, they pretty much agree to go back down the road together. They let each other know they're not here to get along, but they're here just to get through it. And
Yeah.
and the episode leaves us hanging, as
Yeah,
always.
That's all.
You know, Joe Locke said that episode 7 is his favorite episode, and that's the next episode.
Yeah, he said that. So he said 7. Well, so actually, he said this episode with him it was mainly on him. I think it was his favorite.
Okay.
But he said the next one though is the craziest episode of the season.
Ah,
Which let's be honest, if this past episode wasn't just about him, who's not going to say their favorite one's the one where it focuses where you get most screen time? So 7 probably would be the the favorite if it was if it wasn't for this last one.
Yeah, that
Right.
little bit of bias going on for himself. Okay, then, Joe.
Yeah. But so yeah, what's y'all's take on this past episode or past couple episodes or whatever? How are y'all liking it? Are y'all still feeling just as strong as a vibe, or y'all feel slightly
I
different?
mean, I'm sitting over here with one of the like her shirts on, so I feel like I'm definitely still vibing.
It has become a stand.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm a witch. It's cool. You know, birthday's in October, so it makes sense. You know, like I definitely still like it, and I'm still vibing with it.
Mm-hmm.
I really like how they brought back the scenes from the past episodes where like she was interrogating him, but it was inside of her house. Like we saw that in
Right.
the previews prior, but now we see that Agatha was actually doing it in her house, which we had thought that was happening. Um, but then like now we actually get to actually see that, and then we also don't get to see Rio. Like she's having that whole conversation with Rio talking about like, oh, like
Which
when's the
is
last time you saw
strange.
the suspect? It was on TikTok. That
Right.
whole like verbiage from episode 1 was said again, but this time you didn't see Rio. They're not on the couch.
Right.
As in like so what, why are we hiding Rio? Like, is Joe Locke the only one, or not Joe Locke, sorry, Billy, because he's Billy now. Is Billy the one that can actually see her true form
Right.
as possibly Death, right? With the dagger and the tarot card and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So is the way that he sees her different than how everybody else sees her? So that's my question as well.
Got so
I
many
have
questions.
questions.
And
Yes.
what's crazy is like I know this was mainly focused this past episode on Billy, but it is crazy like how they kind of went out of their way for different angles to make sure we didn't see Rio like in any of this. Like I
Hmm.
get maybe towards the end of the previous episode because Alice died, maybe she's taking care of Alice, but then like this one, I mean, even at the end they were talking on the road, which gave us plenty of time for Rio to walk up. She still
Yeah.
never walked up, and like you said, we definitely don't get to see her I think very purposely from the angle while he's looking in that window. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I mean, we do know that he does see her though, because in like episode 4 or
right.
I think it was 4, when she came back after Mrs. Hart, Sharon Davis dies.
Kitty.
Yeah, I don't know, whatever you want to call her. So
Kitty Hart
after
Davis.
like, yeah, when Rio comes back, like you hear Billy, teen, whatever you want to call him,
Yeah.
Joe Locke, pull Agatha aside and it was like, oh, so she's back. Like, should we be concerned?
Mm-hmm.
So he knows that she's there, so he sees her.
Right.
But like, how does he see her? Is my question.
I know. I don't know. Do you think that we'll see like maybe he'll see some definite different form than everybody else?
I think he can see death. Like like he can see that people are dead. So maybe that's why he didn't go looking for his mom, because he really does think she's dead, or maybe he does see her as a dead form. Because like how everybody was asking like why didn't he Google her name? Well, maybe he didn't Google her name because he sees her actually dead. Like,
maybe. And like as bad as I'm so Team Wanda and really want Wanda to come back, but honestly, I don't think we're going to get her. I really don't. I think they're going to be done with Wanda. We might get maybe something in Secret Wars, but that's it, because like the universes in the comics is so vast compared to the MCU, so much vaster, and we get to visit so many other different areas of the universes than we've seen in the MCU. And I really just don't think that we're going to get a Wanda and a Wiccan in the MCU right now, because I think it would just be almost too much and nothing would really be able to stand a chance just for the way that the MCU is currently layered. Maybe I'm wrong. Like if they want to bring Wanda back, I'm 100% here for it. But I just don't think they're going to now. I really don't.
yeah. There's
But
also different versions and different universe, like
it's true.
multiverses of her. So
Right.
maybe there's another one out there that still has the dark hold or something. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that we can expect with this series so far. Like we all know that Billy's end game goal is to bring his brother back, so we could may be able to look forward to that. We may look forward to the resurrection of the Darkhold, and we could. Well, I personally expect to see a Doctor Strange cameo because it's just like, why not? He was there when Wanda was killed. So he could kind of connect the bridge between the MCU and Agatha All Along as a TV series. And he could also have the potential to recruit Wiccan and have him join the Comitage, or end up being a member of the Strange Academy, which is supposedly still in pre-production with Marvel Studios. So Wiccan is supposedly a very formidable magic user in the Marvel world. I don't know much about him as far as comic goes, but seeing him being able to just like control Agatha and the rest of the coven, like use like mind control powers over them, he can read minds and do crazy stuff like that. It's just like, wow, Wiccan is probably a problem in the battlefield. So
yeah. I mean, we also like could possibly see Wong instead because he is the Sorcerer Supreme,
Yeah.
And I feel like we're due to see Wong as well. Like,
it's
Wong,
been so long.
yeah, and
It's been a while.
he's kind of our guy that we kind of expect to pop in and out now,
Yeah.
Right? Like we don't even need Benedict Cumberbatch. Like we could have Wong come in and show up and recruit him. Because he's already recruited America Chavez and they already started a roster there.
Yeah.
So
and like honestly, low key, or maybe high key. I kind of want to see an in scene credit or part of this show where like maybe there is. Actually, I got a theory I want to get into a little bit later, but I'll tell you why I bring this into later. But so maybe we do see some kind of hell realm by the end of this, or maybe at the very end of this, and Wong comes in with Madison with the Y and two N's. And because she's been to the hell realm. That's the queen of hell, far as we're concerned right now. And yeah, I want to see Madison with Wong come back. Just not all the time, just another scene. Because the last one we got was in She-Hulk with them sitting on the couch. Were they watching something or playing a game? I think they were watching something.
I think they were watching something.
Yeah, but
So what's your theory now that you said you started to bring it up?
Yeah, so I want to see. Even if it's after in credit scene, I want to see the Hell Realm. All right, so it don't have to necessarily be Mephisto, but it can be. I'm okay. Or Chthon, the ones with dark codes. So there's a lot of people also going back and forth. Is all the dark codes really, gone, or is there a version of the dark code back? I say they're all gone. I really do think they're all gone. But Chthon is the one that wrote the dark code. He's the one that created the dark code. And that they were on the inscriptions of Mount Wundagore on the wall. But what if, because Wiccan was more magic infused because his powers are magic infused. That's how he was able to find William's body and do what he did. But with Tommy not being magic infused, he's a speedster, but obviously he had magic that helped create him. He didn't have nowhere to go. He didn't know how maybe to find a soul or do something like that. And what if like Tommy's soul escaped, but is actually imprisoned in the hell realm by Chthon or Mephisto, who is actually pulling the strings behind the scenes, to get all this stuff to happen. And maybe now that Wanda's dead, that kind of puts Chthon or Mephisto's plans to whatever, she was becoming and how they could use her maybe. That's gone. So who's the next best person? Wiccan. And so they help pull the strings by putting him into William while they're actually has Tommy entrapped. And maybe at the end of the road, he don't get to find Tommy. There isn't no Tommy to find, but then he finds that's where Tommy is. And then Wiccan's story takes off after Agatha to go save his brother, but he's got to figure out how to get to the Hell Realm and save him.
So potentially we have a setup for season 2, or we could just do another spinoff.
Right.
Well, we are supposed to have another spinoff with like Vision.
Yeah.
But like we don't really know what's after this, like if they're gonna do something season 2-esque, or if we're just gonna get like a Wiccan, because we did kind of get like that spoiler of like they have a Wanda project like happening that they like signed the rights for, But like everybody else is like, oh, we can't talk about it. So maybe this is what it is. It's his story. It's Wiccan because he's tied to Wanda in this whole universe.
And then also, another theory of mine, which, I don't want this to happen, but was what if just because Billy was the more magical and magic infused person and Tommy wasn't, he was just created by magic, but that's it. Well, if he gets to the end of the road and find out there is no Tommy, Tommy was gone with the hex because he was a creation. He was a speedster. He didn't have magic powers, magic, at all. So like, what if it gets even darker? Because I mean, every episode, I feel like we get dark stuff.
Yeah.
we get to the end and there is no Tommy. Tommy actually never existed. It's just you, bro. So,
I mean,
if that happens, though, what would y'all theorize or like think? What that's not even a word, but
no, it isn't.
But what would you think he would find at the end of the road, or he would get if he found out that actually there is no Tommy? There is no it never existed.
I think he's gonna find the Darkhold and he's gonna use it. That's what I think.
Do you think that there's just like for some reason one copy that wasn't destroyed, or do you think it's just something where
the road gives you what you want, right? Like it's what you're looking for.
Right.
So maybe like Mephisto had a copy or something, and like now
or maybe
he has it,
a new copy gets created by the road just at the end because that's what he needs or something.
Maybe
I don't
you
know.
never know.
I mean, we're talking about either a copy or we could just talk about a complete resurrection of like the primary book too.
Right.
That's very possible in the MCU.
There's got to be a piece in Agatha still, right?
Yeah. And
like,
honestly,
is that
anything's possible with magic. So
yeah.
Jamie says Wanda was considered the living Darkhold in the comics, so maybe she passed that down through Billy.
Huh.
I like that actually.
Okay, I like that.
I didn't realize that. So, And Kenpachi is in the chat as well. So good morning.
What up, Kenpachi?
Morning.
Seeing him
talking about witches.
Yeah. Seeing Kenpachi yesterday. Actually, he's setting up down at the Riverfest, selling their soaps and stuff. Yeah, had a good looking booth set up, man. All kinds of great product.
They go hard.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah. They had a whole bunch of bags created for like simmer pots too. I love a good simmer pot, but yeah. But I don't know. There's so many things. Like I keep feeling like we keep getting more things answered, but then it leaves us with way more questions than answers. Which I'm okay with because it's obviously pushing us forward in the right direction. But another thing that I was wondering about is like with Lilia putting that sigil on, we don't 100% know why yet, really. But I'm wondering, like, did she put that on him because she's seen the future with him and Agatha crossing and know how Agatha's power is, so it's to protect him from Agatha? Or did she did this right when the hex came down? Did she do this on purpose so Wanda purposely couldn't find her son? Because this is the only reason why This is the only reason why Wanda went to these universes and did what she did, and then she died because the sigil was on him. Because if the sigil wasn't on him, Wanda would have found William/Billy, and we wouldn't have had a lot of the bad stuff. I think would have happened. Honestly, like I think it would have been a little bit easier journey, not so villainous. If it was, I found Wiccan, so now me and my son's going to go on this journey to find Tommy, type thing. So that sigil is what created Wanda to go because
So if there is like a Tommy in the other multiverses, that means there has to be a Tommy in this multiverse, which means is there another witch coven out there that has a sigil on that Tommy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep. There's so many things. Oh my God, there's so many theories.
I have so many questions.
And like Kenpachi said, the Darkhold is the book Chthon, like we were saying a while ago, and he still exists. So it stands to reason the Darkhold still exists as well somewhere. Well, even though she supposedly destroyed every version of it in every universe. I mean, if this man created it, what if he does just? Oh crap! I'll just write it out again. Make it one more copy. And so this could be the only copy that exists in every universe instead of one in every universe now. But I don't know. There's so many questions. So many questions.
Yeah.
So many.
He said also in the comics, Wiccan's connected to another primordial gods. Is that the Demirs? Huh.
Yeah, I thought Wiccan did become the demiurge at some point.
Yep, and yeah, Jamie said, spells of the Darkhold were written on the walls of Wundagore. Could he rebuild it somehow? This is true because like the pages of the Darkhold, they said was inscribed on inside them. So
yeah,
And that's why I'm
Wiccan's
saying that, like,
powerful.
even though like the temple collapsed, there's still pieces. Like, so I feel like you can, if you really wanted to, you could do it. You
yeah,
know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, did you guys see that they kind of like released, kind of like rumored a little bit about like the 2026 lineup that we have coming out with like movies and stuff?
yeah. So I don't know
Yeah.
how true this is, but it looks good. I mean, I'm here for it. I'm not going to say no. But
Yeah.
we have Scarlet Witch, we have a Beast, Star Lord, the
Heroes for
legendary Star
Hire?
Lord, yeah,
Hmm.
the Marvels, Storm, Captain America, the Coming of Galactus, Fantastic Four. So some of this I feel like the Coming of Galactus, I don't think that's right because
Right.
obviously we're getting Galactus in Fantastic Four first steps. This isn't a trusted source, so take this with a grain of salt. What we're showing you right now,
Yeah.
but still, like if even if half of these titles are true, like I mean, we got Wolverine, Jean Grey, Wakanda Reborn, uh, some Avengers, Mutants, Heroes for Hire, X
How do
Men.
you have mutants
It
and
said
X-Men?
Storm that I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I know.
It can't be true. It can't
No,
be.
well, it's not from a trusted source. I think someone
No.
put something together. But I feel like
Yeah.
in every rumor, there's hints of truth in every little rumor you can find. A lot of times,
right.
a lot of
Yeah.
times.
And
Yeah.
and
So,
I also read stuff about like Blade. And
mhm,
that's supposed to come out on like February 13th. And then you have
2026.
Spider-Man 4. Yeah. And Spider-Man 4 is supposed to come out in like July 24th of 2024, and then Doctor Strange 3 on that November 6th. So between the Blade and Spider-Man 4 is when Doomsday is supposed to happen. So I'm like, okay, so if that's where Doomsday is,
Right.
are we gonna get Doctor Doom in Spider-Man? And then we kind of got to like we got some news that Tom Holland read the script for Spider-Man 4.
Yeah.
Uh,
And he said like him and Zendaya, I think, read it together, and he's
yeah,
like, there
and they
was
were like
moments,
bebopping around the
yeah,
around their living room.
they got pretty excited and like they were up and down by reading it, and
Yeah,
which obviously he's gonna hype up his own movie, but Tom Holland, I mean, he gets into his movies and his character and stuff. I mean, and yeah, I'm just ready for him to ruin, give us an accidental leak again,
no,
supposedly
don't do
accidental.
that.
But
We want to
yeah,
keep him as Spider-Man. Don't
there's
fire him.
There's so many rumors. The latest rumor, I think that's going to be the King in Black story, which I don't think it's going to be. Uh,
What is that?
Deontay
Oh
knows a little.
no. Oh
Yeah,
yeah. The
yeah.
symbiote god. He is like one of the day one gods too. He was there when a lot of this started.
Hmm.
Uh, he has a comic book line that's like fairly new, like 2 or 3 years ago it came out, and God, did he finally come to Earth and wreck house? He's extremely powerful, almost like a Thanos level threat, but even greater. So it's just
Hmm.
like you kind of want to build up to that, and if you do take the King in Black route, that's going to take you so far away from Doomsday and the other movie that they were talking, Secret Wars. So if you're going to do that, erase Doomsday and Secret Wars, push them back, do what you got to do, but go the route that makes the most sense. Because Noel's a huge threat, and the
Yeah.
only person that could defeat him was Eddie Brock. We don't
Yeah.
have one in the MCU.
No,
So,
we don't. And Tom Hardy, I mean, at New York Comic Con, he kind of said that he's done playing. So we thought it was he could be coming back as that character and other stuff, but he's done some movies. But he said this is a final goodbye to the character in the movies.
man.
Obviously, I know we have to take everything with a grain of salt, even nowadays. I mean, we have Andrew Garfield who, kept giving us the werewolf story, and it was a bold-faced lie. So maybe it's just a misdirect, but I don't know. Uh,
Yeah.
there's so many stories. Like, Kevin Feige wanted to be more grounded. Sony didn't want to be more grounded, and I hear that it's not going to be as grounded as Kevin Feige wanted it.
Okay.
But yeah, and Jamie said that apparently he knew RDJ was Doom and purposely did not do any press to avoid ruining it.
Yeah,
Nice.
I read that too,
He don't trust
and like,
himself.
Yeah, I mean, shit, I wouldn't either.
Right.
I'd be like a hermit. I'd be a hermit in a dark room. Don't
Yeah.
talk to me. Don't look at me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to say shit.
Yeah. I would
I'm
be so
quarantined.
nervous. I mean, so nervous because you can get huge trouble. I mean, for that, especially
Yeah.
these contracts that they sign.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
they're NDAs.
Yeah. But so another thing at New York Comic Con, Iron Man and Friends, is going to have it's Iron Man, Riri, and is it Hoecling?
I don't
believe?
know. Maybe.
No.
Amadeus Cho, right?
Amadeus Cho is who it is. No,
Yeah.
Amadeus Cho. Yep. So it's going to be based on those three. But yeah, for your younger kids, they're still putting out some of them younger stuff. So raise them right, start them out on this stuff, put them
This
on
is
that right path.
actually this is the first Iron Man like preschool type series. It's going to be on like Disney Junior and Disney Plus. It's supposed to come out in like the summer of 2025.
Nice.
It's obviously animated. But like I'm excited to kind of just see like what they do with it because I like Lego and how they like tell the storyline of
Yeah.
like the darker like stuff that happens, but then they just like have the Legos just like pop off. And like that's them dying and you're like that's funny. um so I don't know, like I'm a huge Marvel fan. I'll probably watch it at least one episode, and if it's too kiddie then I'll be like you guys,
Yeah.
I get it, but not for me.
Not
Which is
enough
fine,
bloodshed.
Right. Also at New York Comic Con, we got an official release date for Daredevil Born Again, March
Yes
4th,
sir.
2025. And man, one disheartening thing is, when we first heard that we were getting this before they did the rewrite, it was 18 episodes. Then we heard it
Yeah.
was chopped down to 12.
Yeah.
And now it's official that we're getting 9.
Yeah.
But Deontay, didn't you read somewhere where Daredevil's episodes are going to be like hour-long episodes though?
Yeah, hour-long episodes,
So,
and we're pretty much going to get like a very violent and intimate story of one of my favorite comic lines in Daredevil. So,
yeah.
and actually, the Netflix series, like every season went up to like 10 episodes too. So we're right on par with the Netflix show.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I can be okay with 9 episodes as long as they keep them at that hour mark. And what I hope is that Marvel gets such a strong response to these hour-long episodes that they start doing all their Disney Plus with hour-long episodes. Because let me tell you, these 25 to 30-minute episodes of Agatha is not doing it for me. Like,
dude, the last episode of Agatha, I literally I was like watching it and I was getting into it and I was like, oh shit, they're back on the road, and then it ends and I was like,
it's the longest episode. Well, it literally
it seemed like the shortest episode is what it felt like.
So like it was it credits in all 49 minutes, but I think if you take the credits off, it's 42 minutes. And like our last 2 episodes have been like 25, 30 minutes. But I swear, I was like, there's no way this is over. I thought this was longer. Like, and it goes to show like how much it pulls you in. So
something else that they announced at New York Comic Con was that along with this series, they're going to have a comic book series that's going to come out. It's going to be called A Cold Day in Hell, and it's a Daredevil comic series, and that's releasing in April of 25.
Now, is that like how they're doing the animated Spider comic release? Is that tying into this series or no?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't think so. It's supposed to be like a super dark, like what if everything went to shit kind of thing from the looks of it anyway. I would have to like dive more deeper into that. I just saw like the comic book art and it looked beautiful. It very like white, kind of like the Deadpool and Wolverine opening intro sequence where they like everything was white because of the snow, and then it had like the blood.
Yeah.
And that's the Daredevil that they had like pulled into that. And that's like kind of like what the cover looked like. It was really pretty. Is what I'm trying to say. It popped.
So I don't also at New York Comic Con, Marvel has a new logo that they threw up on a giant wall, which is beautiful. Like I'm actually love this.
Yes.
And like I don't know if this is going to be maybe a new logo we start seeing like at the beginning, or if this was just something they threw up to kind of tease, the future things that they have coming up, for Comic Con. But we also did get to see a version of Herbie. And we get to a lot better visual than we've seen at all, because all we had was that art drawing. And this is kind of what Herbie is going to look like in the Fantastic Four First Steps. So it's kind of cool to see him. I'm interested to see how this robot is and the role that it plays and if it works or not.
They got some red Hulk in that logo. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
You got to see a Johnny Storm, like
Johnny
actually
Storm.
flamed on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What I think they're gonna do with this, I think it was just a teaser, something that they could put like on a shirt, some merch or something like that. But I don't think that they're going to put it as like the iconic, like flipping through pages. Yeah, the red and silver.
Honestly, like I think they should stick with that, not try and be against change, but like as they like update the scenes when they flip through it, how they always do.
Yeah.
I think it works. I think it's iconic, and I think it should be like their signature staple.
Yeah. The next thing that we have coming out for Marvel that we would see that for is going to be Captain America: Brave New World, which has had early screenings, and the early screenings have not been good.
Oh,
Just saying, they have not been good. So, take that with what you want.
What have you heard?
I didn't read the spoilers. I didn't want to read the spoilers.
I mean, like, have you heard like the a non-spoiler like comments on it?
No.
Like,
no. I just I went through a couple of articles and I was just like, okay, all right, well,
I don't believe them. So.
Nah, that's because you like Captain America so damn much.
Yeah, I refuse to believe that they are going to have a first bad Captain America movie.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have Venom come out next weekend, and I already know that I'm gonna go and see that. And their marketing for Venom itself has been phenomenal. And I can't wait to see that. Honestly,
well, I know we got our tickets for Friday night, so
yeah,
yeah.
Well, I'll probably go see it on Saturday because Friday I'm going to be driving to Arizona, so I don't want to go that same day. But anyway,
so Venom 3 is one of those. I was kind of like, okay, yeah, I'm ready to see it, but that's like the excitement for it, you know. I mean, it's just like the other Venom movies, but now like lately in the past couple of weeks, all the new rumors and possible ways they're going to go has got me like. I don't know. I'm afraid I'm going to get hesitant, but even more excited. But then I'm afraid, like, if you get more excited, assuming some of these things, you're just going to be let down even more.
Yeah, cap your feelings. Cap them here.
I'm like,
so it can go here, you know.
Right. But I don't know. I guess we'll find out next weekend.
Yeah.
We know how Sony is, so.
Oh, man.